Okay, we've got the okay from management. They're telling us that we can go to our breakout sessions now and continue with our games for children in language immersion. So I believe the tech people will be separating us. Cass will have a session, I'll have a session, and Ben Ikawe will have a session as well.
All right, and then I just want to add one more thing. I'm going to put the discussion question in the chat that we're going to talk about. We were talking about it a lot during the presentation, but what are some games you use in language immersion in your own community? Or if they're not in the language, how could you develop them or adapt them to be full immersion in culture and both language? And another thing to add, the bookmaking resource, you can find it on the platform. Ours has been translated into Anishinaabe. So if you're looking to use that resource, it's there, and you can translate it in your own languages too, of how to make the book, and then some vocabulary associated with it too. So just those two things, and I think we're ready to go, unless you got anything to say, Bim. Good.
Thumbs up. All right, here we go. We're going into our breakout rooms. Corey, I seem to come to you the first every time. Games for the children in language. What have you done in the past, and what are some of your suggestions?
Well, usually what I do with when I do JK to grade ones, I would sing a song like, you know, those nursery rhymes they have, but I translate them to Cree. Like teddy bear, I would say Musco, Kinagoni. The teddy bear, turn around, teddy bear, touch your head. And those I would put them in Cree. And then I would do the actions first. And then I'll get the students to, tell them to stand up. Nibawik, stand up in Cree, and then they'll copy me what I do. So every time I go into their classroom, they always say, "Oh, Miss Flori, can you sing Musco?"
Oh.
So we do that, and plus numbers. We'll do the numbers, play games in numbers.
Okay.
And they like that when we go up in numbers. Like, let's say the first while we did from 1 to 10, then 10 to 20. Then 20 to 30, they really like that when they're going up with numbers.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And then we'll do the syllabic song. We'll sing A, E, O, A, A, E, O, A. We'll sing that at first, and then I'll do half, and then I'll do the other half later.
Hang on, something's going on.
Something going on?
Yeah, I thought you had a band with you. They were doing a syllabic song with you. You're really prepared. So the syllabics.
And then with the syllabics, I would add a picture to each of the syllabics, like A with an ant, A, lick, E, ishkut tail, E with fire. Each of them with a picture with the syllabics as we go. And they really love that when they see it in a big chart, visual aid.
Mm-hmm.
So
how long did it take you to put that game together, the syllabic song? How much preparation?
It takes me, I prepare it before I have my classes in September. But as I go along, flashcards, I put flashcards with the A and a picture of an animal or an object, with that A, E, O, A. And Pepe, Popa as we're going down. So I introduced that on Monday, this past, on Tuesday, I introduced that to the kindergartners, and they really loved that when they saw that song.
Well, I bet you your students love having you as a teacher. You sound like a
Yeah.
lot of fun in the classroom. So thank you for sharing that.
Hey, you're welcome.
Let's move along to Karen, and we'll unmute Karen and see what games and activities Karen might have for us. Hello, Karen. How are you? Uh-oh, Karen's playing games with us. She's playing shy. Oh, there she is.
I'm not shy. Not shy at all.
Good. Welcome.
I don't teach native language. I'm a grade 7 and 8 teacher / principal. I'm just here to get ideas for the native language teachers, see how they can improve their program.
And we're giving you lots of ideas this afternoon.
Yeah, you are.
Good stuff. We'll take lots of notes. And remember
have.
that this whole conference is recorded for 30 days.
Yeah.
So you can come back on, log on, and then take more notes of some of the sessions that you may have missed.
All right.
All right. Okay. Miigwech, Karen.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. We're going to say hello to Mary. Hello, Mary. Miigwech for joining us.
Hello,
Hi, Mary.
you know Dutch?
How's it going?
All right. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, all right. Okay, bonjour. My name is Mary Okis Matondonji. And one of the games we play with our children is I'm a kindergarten teacher. I've been working here almost 30 years. Okay, and when we take our kids out on the land, these little ones, ages 4 or 5, we try to take them out on the land as much as we can. And one of the games they like to play is a wheel. You know, when you spin a wheel, you have pictures of a moose or a goose and and a squirrel, and you know, then they would spin it, then where it stops like a moose, and they would try to imitate a moose call, you know, and you know, stuff and things like that. And they would say, and they would also say that you know, the name, well, moose, we say moose in Ojibwe too, so that's, you know, but if it comes on like a goose, we say they would say nika. We don't say niska, we say nika, you know, and they will try to imitate a goose call or a duck call wherever that day. So and also we play games out when we take them out out on the land. We play games, and also, like, you know, they think they think they're playing games when, you know, when you see a track, you know, and who makes that track? Is that Teacher Mary's track? And they go, no. He said, that's a rabbit track. Rabbit. Then they say, no. And they say wabus. You know, and you know, things like that. Even in my classroom here, we do it's half English and half Ojibwe, because I'm fluent in Ojibwe. And hi, Flory. Miss you in the native language program. But anyways, yeah, that's what we do in our classroom here. We try to teach them at the early age, and yeah, we do all kinds of stuff. We fun to play games in the language, and you know, we use whatever we have in our classroom. We use when we play. And they think they're playing, but actually they're learning the language. And I can't get that video thing on here, but so you'll see how I look. But anyways, we use things like, you know, like a blue chair, you know, and we try to make the chairs. We have different color chairs, and they would make a rainbow with the chairs.
Oh.
We tell them, you know, we don't you know, make a rainbow. You know, it's half Ojibwe and also half English. That way they'll understand. You know, I'd say, like sometimes I would say, bring that green chair. And then the next thing I would say is bring that win. That's blue chair. You know, I mix it up then, and then the next day, you know, you turn it around, and they like doing that.
So the chair is one color, or is it the rainbow chair?
You know, it's one color. We have rainbow chairs.
Mhm.
I can't get my video. I could have showed you the classroom. I can't. I'm not a computer whiz, but yeah, and even other stuff that we use around in the classroom, we gear it towards both languages. You know.
Well, that's a challenge as well, right? Because you've got
It-
English and Ojibwe in the same
Yeah,
class.
but you know, at the end of the day, I think I strongly believe that they take one word home in their language.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they know the colors. We have the colors. We teach them the colors. We teach them the shapes, and we also have we make games out of the shapes: the circle, the heart, and the star, rectangle, triangle, square, and all that. And then
Wow.
which
I'm just making notes here.
hopscotch, and hopscotch with the game with numbers. So we play hopscotch with the numbers, but we don't write the numbers on the hopscotch in English. We write them in Ojibwe.
Okay.
Yeah, they like that.
Just to let you know, because I'm, as I say, I was adopted and raised in a white community. My grade 3 teacher, who was quite stern, Mrs. Cruson was her name. She introduced me to the classroom as Gerry Barrett. He's Ojibwe. Yeah, and I thought, no, I corrected her. I said, no, Mrs. Cruson, I'm Ojibwe. She goes, no, you're not, Gerry. You're Ojibwe. Okay, so, and that stuck with me throughout, you know, all these years and whatnot. But at least she tried.
Mhm.
You know, butchered it completely, but at least she tried. So God bless her wherever she is today. So hopscotch in Ojibwe numbers.
Yes.
All right, that's a good one.
Mhm.
And you have to do that out in the parking lot, I guess.
No, we
Sidewalk?
have tiles. I have my TE make a hopscotch out of Bristol board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
So you could do that at any season, like in the winter, in the.
yeah, anytime. Yeah, we do that anytime in the free time. If they want to do the Anishinaabe hopscotch, they'll just take it out of the cupboards and.
And you know, that conjures up such a wonderful picture for me. I can
Mhm.
see it now, the kids hopping around, they're playing hopscotch in the classroom. Well, that's wonderful. Well, those are some terrific ideas.
Okay, mega
All
sure.
right. All right. Let's move on. And hello, Michael. You've been waiting patiently there. I see you. Michael is at the committee.
Honey, bonjour. I was just taking in everything that you were saying. But a scavenger hunt outside. As the snow is going to disappear now in our area, you put items on their sheets, a sin, migwan, rock, feather, stuff like that they could pick up, give them a little baggie to put their stuff in. And it could be for any age, for all ages.
Yes,
So scavenger hunt.
that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, in the language there, it's make sure that you use Anabish, Migwan, Menaguman, like acorn, feathers, leaf, rock, things that are outside, right?
Mhm. What about insects?
Yeah, well, I guess you have to find a dead insect and
Oh.
or
Yeah, I guess we don't want, well, I guess we don't want them stomping on ants or something.
Well, you can, and then they have to lay down their sema.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's a good one, scavenger hunt. And do you have any other ideas?
I was thinking that I just when I went upstairs this afternoon, I was looking at this Yahtzee machine, Yahtzee game, and I was thinking, I wonder if I could, transform that Yahtzee game into language. I don't know. It could be done. I think.
Use whatever resources you have, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you have to like right now the kids only know up to 31, like for numbers, because I made sure that they'll learn up to 31 because it's 31 days in a month.
Ah,
So like I mean, even bingo is a different thing. Like there's 75 in a bingo. Um, there's but Yahtzee you go up to 250 points or whatever it is. I can't remember, but
mhm. Well, that's good. So, and you're as a teacher, you're always looking for different. I don't want to say props, but different things around the house or around the school that you might be able to adapt and use it for learning purposes, right?
yeah, for sure. And I find our students are really hands-on. Like that's how we learn. That's our culture. We learn hands-on. We're like we're visual learners, so having hands-on stuff, flashcards, stuff like that, that's very important to our learning.
Yeah, and Clarice said that Little Traverse Bay made Anishinaabe Yahtzee, and yeah, it's there in the
Oh,
chat
nice.
room or in the discussion. So Yahtzee is certainly something that you could adapt and make it your own.
Yeah.
And thank you, Clarice, for pointing that out. Good stuff. All right. Thank you, Michael.
Miigwech.
And I think we're gonna say hello to Dorothy. Hello, Dorothy.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Okay, I play some of the similar games like the other people. I got bingo.
Of course.
I use colors. I use colors, numbers, and animals with bingo. And I do the scavenger hunt too, outdoor stuff that they've learned, rocks, trees, stuff like that. And I do indoor plates and stuff. And I do the fruit basket too. Like that's
Oh.
The upset, whatever they call it, upset the fruit basket. And give the students each like an animal name, and then you call up that name, and then those are the ones that switch seats and stuff. like
Okay.
that.
Right.
So they have to know the animal names, or you can use colors, whatever,
Right.
or you can, yeah. And then with cue cards, I show them maybe about 4 cards, and then I have them look at it and memorize what's there, and then I take one out. I hide them, mix them up, and then I take one out, and they have to try and remember what's missing.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I do Dorothy says, like Simon says. And I do the bag thing too. What's in the bag? Pull out an object. They have to name what it is.
I can see
And
I can see the students enjoying that one. What's in the bag and what you're pulling out.
Yeah. And I translate poems too. And I try and translate songs. And I do comic strips. I give them those bubbles, and they write sentences in their little stories of what the,
Oh,
like the animals talking to each other, like Mako talking to a waboose. I give them those comic strips where there's those bubbles. You put the words in. Yeah.
that's a great idea. Did you come up with that idea of the comic book and the talking bubbles, or did you hear that from learn that from somewhere else?
I learned it from somewhere else when I was learning native language.
Because comic books are so popular. I mean, they always have been, but now you've got superheroes, and it's kind of nice to see that there's actually some indigenous superheroes out there as well. But maybe, the kids can come up with their own superheroes and name them in language. Maybe superheroes, super animal heroes. And they can draw them, like I say, using all their gifts, the storytelling and the sketching and the drawing of the animals. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
that's about all I have.
Oh, well, those are great ideas. Thank you for sharing.
Hey, gotcha.
Good. All right. Carla in the chat room says one of the games kids like to was bingo. Our teacher had her had her bingo cards. So yeah, thank you, Carla. So bingo seems to be a big hit as well out there. All right, who are we missing? Who have I missed? There's Flora, there's Michael. I'm gonna push this little button. Oh my goodness, there's more people. Good. Clarice has been active in the chat room. Would you like to join us live and in person, Clarice? Ah, there you are.
I'm here. I love this session, first of all, because just constantly running out of ideas and trying all the ideas. So Shimigwech to everyone who's sharing today. One idea is prepositions, teaching prepositions in Anishinaabe. And I put a link in the chat, and it's kind of like where you give instructions to students, kind of like it's a popular party game around here. And students have to draw. So you would say, draw a circle, but you would do this all in the language, and then draw a triangle on top and do those, gidjing, swaying, beanjing, all those different locations in the language. And then everyone gets to see at the end what the result was and how close people were to what you were hoping they were. It's really fun. Another one is the 5 W's, which I learned actually along with Bimakwe at the Immersion camp. It's a little bit for, I think, older students. I've used this with grade 5 to 8 and adults. So it's a writing game. Everyone starts off with answering the question when-ish, and they offer a name. So it could be a fictional character or a celebrity. And everyone writes that down on their piece of paper. And when everyone is done, they pass it to their left. And then they answer another question in the language. Well, what did they do? And they put a verb there. And it continues for all the 5 W's. And at the end result, you read all the silly sentences that are made up. So it'd be like Santa Claus was smelt fishing on Manitoulin Island last year, and then you would have an Ani Dush for why, and then the answer would be, oh, because he was sad or something. It wouldn't make any sense, but it would be a lot of fun. Those are just a couple of ideas.
I like that. I like the W5s because I was in broadcast journalism, and of course that's what we all asked, right? Who, what, where, when, and why. And don't add anything more to the story. Those are the questions that we need to be answered. So that's awesome. And where are you again, Clarice?
Nido Minising, Manitoulin Island, Michigan, Dida. I live in Michigan.
I was down to Manitoulin, I think 2 or 3 summers ago. And the little people kept telling me about the little people on Manitoulin Island. And I wasn't afraid, but there were some pretty good stories there about that territory. So they could be watching us right now. All right, thank you very much, Clarice. All right, let's see here, Carla. Yeah. I don't want to leave out Lucy. Maybe we should go to Lucy first. Hello, Lucy. Lucy's off washing the dishes or shoveling the walk or walking the dog. Lucy is there. Lucy is everywhere. All right, we'll move on. Thank you, Lucy. Did we do Carla? Hello, Carla. Carla is there. All she has to do is push mute. Carla. Oh, I will pass. Thank you. Okay, Carla. Hope you're jotting down some of these wonderful ideas for the classroom. I have a sister, my biological sister. Her name is Doreen. This might be my sister, but I don't think so. Hello, Doreen. How are you?
Okay. Hi.
Hello, I hear you now.
All right. I'm
How are you
doing
this?
great.
How are you today?
Pretty good. I'm amazed of all the ideas that are very, very creative people.
Yes.
I learned a lot. So I'm Doreen Ray, and I teach native language from grade 5 to grade 9. So I have all kinds of levels. And one of the things I do, especially with this COVID time, is that I had to actually upgrade myself as an technology. In our school, everybody, all the kids got new tablets, and plus they have Chromebooks that each of the kids use within the school and out of the school. So in updating myself, I have Kahoots games that I use all whatever theme I'm teaching. We have Kahoot games, and then they have the challenges in there that they can actually do at their homes. So it's all according to like if we're doing animals, and there's all kinds of animals that I have there. Games they get put on there. I have Flipgrid, where the kids will actually say something and record themselves, and then they send it to me, which is very, very useful. So when we're doing when I need the oral assessments, that really helps. And then I can just use it for any kind of theme. I just interchange it. And I use Quizlet. Quizlet is a website where I plug in my syllabics and my themes, and then in there's lots of activities that they do. What it does is it puts my syllabics, my words and sentences there into games automatically, and then at the end for assessment, for that Quizlet website does is that then we are doing Quizlet Live, where the kids are competing against each other or competing as teams. Even in the classroom, it gets really loud when they're telling each other each team has only one right answer, so they actually interact with each other very well. And I mean, like I said, I had to really upgrade myself due to this COVID.
Well, you're not the only one. I think we're all we all had to adapt. I know I was old school and I have all this equipment now, and had to learn, re-educate myself when it came to technology. So thank you for doing that, because you're using as you retool yourself to educate our youth. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things. What I noticed right now is that before, like 5 years ago, I could not use these websites because it did not accept syllabics. But now with this COVID, all of a sudden I'm able to do it, which has made it very, very good for me.
Excellent.
All right, that's it.
All right, Doreen, thank you again for doing what you do. We're just about out of time, and I see iPhone 11 is there. And if iPhone 11 wants, hello, iPhone 11.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, I'm doing workshop.
Okay, I can hear you. So what activities do you have to suggest for the kids? We see you. All right. Uh-oh. Well, it was pleasant. It was pleasant to see you. We're going to leave our breakout rooms now and go back to the main room, and then we'll discuss. Thank you for your ideas, Miigwech. All right, Cass is there, and I suspect we're waiting for Dimikwe and some
Yeah.
others to. That was a very good session. People really enjoyed that, and so thank you for suggesting people share their activities and games, because there are so many innovative and fun games that came out of that session. We touched on traditional games, board games, outdoor activities, and because of the COVID lockdown and everybody could not see each other in person, how teachers had to adapt and use the internet to play games and of course lessons with the students. It forced us to adapt, and I was one of them. I had to train myself how to do Zoom and how to do recordings from home, and so it's been a real curve for me, a real learning curve, but we did it, and so here we are. So Cass, did you want to wait a little bit more, or did you want to share? Oh, here he is, Mikwe. Hello.
Here I am.
Yeah, he's gonna sit beside me.
You're back from the kitchen. You're out there making a sandwich.
Slaving away over
Yeah.
here.
Okay. Good guy.
Well, as I mentioned, thank you for coming up with that fun way to come up with new games, activities for the kids, and we got a ton of suggestions, and I know that the teachers shared so many wonderful ideas that they jotted them all down. So games not just for the kids, but also for the adults. I got pages of stuff here. Did you want me to mention a few?
Yeah, do you want to do a share back of some of the games that you talked about? We're going to compile them into a document after to share out again, but it'd be nice to hear some of it.
All right, here we go. Michael, and this came up time and time again, a scavenger hunt. I like that idea. They would, the teacher would put the kids out on a scavenger hunt in a bag. There's a bag, and then you reach in and you would have to look for a rock. Maybe somebody pulls out a feather or an acorn, and then off they go. So a scavenger hunt in language, but also a learning experience. But it was, I thought, I never would have thought of a scavenger hunt. But and it came up time and time again that the youth didn't even know that they were learning language. They just knew that it was a fun activity, and off they went, right? Everybody's happy. Yahtzee, the game Yahtzee, that came up several times, and apparently there is a Yahtzee game that somebody came up with. I can't remember what community it was, but there is Little Traverse Bay made an Anishinaabewin Yahtzee game, and it's a hit for sure. And so thank you to Clarice. Clarice had some wonderful ideas there, but Yahtzee came up time and time again. Bingo, of course, is popular in the community, and Dorothy suggested bingo using colors, animals, or numbers for bingo. Fruit basket. I've never played the fruit basket game, but I think you upset the fruit basket and there's colors, and you can use colors or animals in the fruit basket. Flashcards came up time and time again. You can memorize the flashcard. Oh, this was good. So you have a bunch, maybe 4 or 5 flashcards. You have the kids out in front of you. You show, you know, a bear, a deer, an owl, something, you know, different animals. And then you take one away and then you show them again and which one is missing. So the kids would have to figure out, remember what animal is missing. I thought that was good. What's in the bag? That sounds like a fun game too, right? Translating poems into language or songs, you know, and the kids love the hip hop these days. I don't know what the modern dance music. If you translated like Beyonce or somebody, that would be something. This was a good one. Comic books. Comic books are so popular, as we all know, superheroes and whatnot. Someone would take a comic book and then put the talking bubbles over the heads of the characters in the comic books, and then you would create your own story or write in a language, whatever that character might be saying. So comic books. Pardon me, translating songs. The nursery rhyme song. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but that sounds like fun. And Flora is so popular with the kids. There she is there, that they always request the nursery rhyme song. And that's where you translate nursery rhymes into language and then have everybody sing it. And it involves lots of action as well. So number play games in the number counting. Oh yeah, the numbers game. I guess you count up and up and up. And because there's 31 days in a month, the kids would learn up to 31. So every week or whatever, they would learn a certain set of numbers until they get to 31. The syllabic song with pictures and flashcards, that keeps coming up as a big tool. Mary suggested for kindergarten, take kids out on the land. I thought that wasn't great. So take kids out on the land and have them explore. But she has a spin the wheel with animals on it. So you spin the wheel, and then if it stops on a goose, then the kids make the sound of a goose or pronounce the word goose or something. So you spin the wheel. It could be a moose, it could be a goose. It's going to be a noisy classroom for sure. And I thought this was cool, identifying animal tracks. You go outside and it doesn't matter if it's winter or fall or summer, because you're going to find tracks. So that's, I thought that was fun. There's another game came up with blue chair or rainbow chairs. So you'll have to review our session to see what that one is all about. But it involves color and it sounds like a lot of fun. You know, a lot of teachers use colors and shapes like a circle, a heart, a star, and a square, perhaps on flashcards, but I think that's fun. Get this one, hopscotch. Hopscotch, and I thought, well, you know, Ojibwe numbers on the hopscotch, but here's the thing. I thought, well, how can you play that in the winter? But I'm not very smart. They said they use Bristol board to make the hopscotch across the floor, and then the kids are hopping around. I'll be done soon. Here we go. People are running out of ideas out there, so she thanked Clarice thanked everybody for sharing your games activities for the kids here. And the W5 game, and you'll have to review our session how that works, but it's who, what, where, when, and why. So you could make a story about Santa Claus. Who? Santa Claus. Where? Well, it was on Manitoulin Island. When, you know, who, what, where, and so on and so forth. At the end, then you have a sentence, a crazy sentence, maybe about Santa Claus. And so the W5 game. And Doreen, who teaches grade 5 through 9. Oh yes, the COVID lockdown. The kids got new tablets, and she was able to communicate with her class at home. And so she had to update her technical knowledge, and as I have had to, and she plays all kinds of games, the Cahoots game, and she recommended a website called Quizlet, where you plug in the syllabics and then games automatically are generated. So the internet is coming to recognize language, but it's called Quizlet. I guess Quizlet.com perhaps. And there are more and more websites out there to help with language. So that's what our group came up with.
Amazing. I could only imagine a weekend with all of those people. A lot of games.
Very fun.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But
Oh, so yeah. So a lot of the games you mentioned, and I'm looking at the list of the other room. I don't want to give don't want to overlap too much, but one of the themes that I noticed came out of your group as well as mine was an emphasis on the space being a natural environment. So outside in the bush, outside the classroom, wherever, there were a lot of great ideas in those spaces, especially, scavenger hunts came up a lot as well. You can do a traditional scavenger hunt, have a piece of paper. You can have a scavenger hunt, go find something that's crinkly, go find something that's hard, that's soft, whatever, right? And there was another one of this fly swatter game that I need to find more about. I didn't get too much information about it, but you, once again, utilizing flashcards, right? Place them all over the classroom of various either nouns or verbs, and then you tell your students go find this thing, and then they go around and smack it with their fly swatter. So I could easily see that getting out of hand, but
yeah, very out of hand.
it could be fun. Yeah, it could be fun. But yeah.
All right, my group, we had a lot of different types of game making. So puppetry and using puppets to tell stories or to play games with children, but also making clothing for the puppet and doing that in an immersion, and bringing our old used cloths or materials from home and remaking them into new things. So creating puppets with our children or adults. And we had a comment about making everything into a game. So even if you're just sitting in the room and you can imagine the floor is lava, or using your hands to count numbers, but just turning everything into a game is a real talent. And the people who are able to do that, big shout out to you, because we love you. And so then we talked about mini race games. So just putting that competition into things, a little bit of competition to see who can identify things the fastest, to play Go Fish, Yahtzee, I Spy, Bingo, Kahoot, the Quizlet. And we had a Buju ball. So you have the ball and you say, Buju, Cassandra and Dishnikas, Gindash. And then that person would be like, hi, my name is, and pass the ball and start generating conversations with the ball. And I wonder what that would be like if you had multiple balls going at the same time. So you have to be like, Buju, Buju, Buju. But having a game like that creates conversation, and you got to be aware. So that was fun. Games and music. And then we touched on a lot of traditional games. So Tabahan, I think that's what it's called. It's like a stick string game, or tug of war, miniature sleds, snow snake, lacrosse. So a lot of the games that we played historically in our communities and continue to play, and using the but using the things around us to play those games. And that was really exciting to talk about. And yeah, then Deal or No Deal. So pretty much adapting and developing games that we already play into the games we have today. So lots of fun, lots of conversation.
Yeah, and what is interesting is that the traditional games that our ancestors played, like Snow Snake and whatnot, and those are more physical, of course, and perhaps for older students, but involving phys ed and outdoor activity, and just, I guess, explaining how the game would be played, or what our ancestors did. So I think that's something that we have the indigenous games. A lot of the students work towards that, and some of them actually get to participate and travel to the indigenous games of North America, which I think is amazing. And a lot of those games, I think, happened up in Nunavut at one time. So perhaps incorporating on a grander scale those physical physical sports and learning about that in language, of course.
Mhm. And I see in the chat that Harriet, I think, is referring to the Buju ball game, but playing that with a ball of yarn and then getting all entangled. That would be so fun. And having to work through language to untangle, like lift your arm, do this, that would be quite fun. But basically, we also know that our time is nearing the end. So we want to say thank you. And we hope that this discussion was really used to spark imagination and maybe inspire you with some new games. And we don't have to reinvent the wheel, as we said earlier, but we have a lot of talented and skilled people in our communities that know all these different types of games. And so how do we bring them into our classrooms? How do we create immersion games out of that? And so on. So Miigwech, from me, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, miigwech.
Right, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well said. I know that Little Bear enjoyed it, and games for the children in language immersion. Everybody give a internet applaud to Cass and also Bimikawe. Miigwech, you guys, we'll talk to you again down the conference trail somewhere.
Hi. Hi, anybody hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I've been trying to get somebody's attention, waving and waving.
I thought you
Yeah.
were just flirting with me. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's Colleen. Hello, Colleen.
Yeah. No, I now I'm blushing.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a question. Not to put anybody on the spot here, but given that I live off reserve and I'm an urban whatever off reserve native, that I'm trying to look for that USB stick that's originally for only Swampy Creek people. Does anybody know where I can get that from?
Are you
Like, 'cause
talking
I-
about the Ojibwe, like the Ojibwe and Creek Cultural Center? Like they have a lot of resources there. Are you talking about a USB stick full of language?
Yes, I tried there already and they don't have it. So I'm trying to find out who has that. If they could please share with me that USB stick so that way I can plug it into my laptop and I can help people that way too, because I have it on my phone. I could type out no, some of the stuff, not to say I know everything too either. Like for this example, I have this on my just bear with me. I have this on my phone. Where's the other? Where'd it go? Like I have this on my phone. If you look at the chat box, I'm able to do it on my phone. Through my phone, but I can't do it through a laptop. That's why I'm trying to look for that USB stick or something. Yes, that's what I go through. I'm trying to look for Mushkego education at Mushkego. Okay, I'll try that. Okay, I seen it in the box. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Lorraine.
Yes,
And thank you, Colleen.
yes,
The sharing circle is awesome.
yes, and nice to meet new people again. Because I am I also translate for NAN on
Right.
virtual meeting. Yeah, virtual or in person. Thank you.
Okay, Miigwech. All right, you two, they're gone. They are exhausted and they are gone. All right, I believe that is our session for now. We're going to take a break and we'll be back at 4 o'clock to have our closing prayer from our elder. So get some tea into you, some bannock, and we will see you in just a little bit here. Miigwech.